This podcast was written and created by Avi Melamed, Middle East intelligence analyst and founder of the Inside the Middle East Institute.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. How does just one single political victory, Zoran Mamdani's election in a New York State assembly race,
Yeah, just one race.
how does that become this flashpoint, generating all this intense talk, sometimes really conflicting talk, all across the Arab world?
It's quite something, isn't it?
It really is, and that's our mission today, basically. We're going to do a deep dive into the analysis, the really nuanced analysis provided by Avi Melamed.
Right.
We're looking specifically at the conversations, the ones out in the open and maybe the more hidden ones, that followed Mamdani's win. And what Avi Melamed suggests this tells us about, well, Arab and Muslim relations with the West.
And maybe relations within the Arab world itself.
Exactly. So Avi Melamed observes that the first reaction was pretty positive, like satisfaction and even enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason seems clear, right? Mamdani looks like this powerful symbol, son of Muslim immigrants making it in the West while being really vocal for pro-Gaza causes.
That symbolism was picked up immediately. Avi Melamed actually quotes a commentator, Hussein Jalad, who put it very directly. He called Mamdani a rare combination.
Okay.
Yeah, Jalad said. He's the son of immigrants, an outspoken leftist activist, an active member of the DSA. That's the Democratic Socialists of America, by the way.
Important context.
And, most importantly, a familiar face in pro-Gaza and ceasefire protests. So all those pieces together.
It paints a picture.
It does. But, how people read that picture, that victory, well, that split pretty quickly along ideological lines. Avi Melamed points to the Islamist interpretation first.
Okay, what was that?
They framed it as a religious and ideological win.
Yeah.
Based on the theology of Allah's absolute sovereignty, the idea that God's will directs everything, Mamdani's success, even in a local U.S. election, gets interpreted as proof of Islam's moral superiority. Specifically, its ideas about social justice winning out over Western materialism over capitalism.
Interesting. But that wasn't the only take, was it? Avi Melamed found other voices.
Oh, definitely not. He presents this really important counter-narrative, a kind of pushback from within the Arab discourse.
Like who?
Well, he cites Nuruddin al-Alawi, who was pretty sharp, actually quite critical of that Islamist excitement. Al-Alawi saw it as showing the desperation of the defeated clinging to any straw.
Wow, strong words.
Yeah, and he also called it a kind of lazy political fatalism, like just hoping for signs instead of working for change.
So Avi Melamed is highlighting this internal critique.
Exactly. And this critique, Avi Melamed suggests, gets at something deeper. It points to this big struggle many Arab intellectuals have.
Yeah.
How do you square the ongoing crises in many Muslim societies with the continued power and success of the West?
Right. It's a tough question.
It is. So Mamdani's win, in that context, it becomes almost like psychological comfort, a symbolic Muslim victory that makes people feel a bit better about internal problems, even if it doesn't solve them.
Okay, so less about practical politics, more about feeling.
In some readings, yes. But there are political links being made, too. Avi Melamed documents how some commentators connect Mamdani's politics, his leftist, anti-capitalist stance, directly to Palestine.
How does that connection work?
The argument goes something like this. Western capital funds Israeli military power. So if you oppose capitalism like Mamdani does, you're inherently taking a stand against Israel's backers, and therefore for the Palestinian cause.
I see the logic there. But again, not everyone was celebrating, presumably.
Not without reservations. Avi Melamed notes these strong warnings popping up, urging caution, warning against getting carried away.
Bro.
He quotes the former Tunisian minister, Mahdi Mabrouk, who said, basically, we must beware the illusion that a symbolic victory can alter deep historical realities.
So keeping things in perspective.
Trying to, yeah. And Avi Melamed also includes an even blunter take from the Lebanese commentator Hazim Saghi.
Oh, what did he say?
Saghi just laid it out there. Anyone who sees Mamdani's victory as a sweeping triumph over capitalism, white identity, the West, and Israel is a fool.
Okay, so zero ambiguity there.
None at all. And really, if you synthesize everything Avi Melamed presents, the big takeaway seems to be this. Mamdani's election, in the end, tells us less about the West declining or Islam rising, and much, much more about the Arab world's own internal debates, its ongoing struggles, and, frankly, its difficult search for a path forward for reform.
So, wrapping this up, what's the thought for you, our listener, to take away from this deep dive based on Avi Melamed's work?
Well, maybe it's this question.
Yeah.
If symbols start replacing substance, which is kind of what this discourse Avi Melamed analyzed suggests might be happening, then what actually counts as a victory in global politics today?
Right. You really have to think about the difference, don't you? The difference between something that provides maybe psychological comfort
A temporary lift.
and something that creates real, tangible political change on the ground. They're not always the same thing.
Not at all. And maybe mistaking one for the other is part of the problem Avi Melamed is highlighting.
This podcast is made possible by supporters like you. ITME is an independent, nonprofit institute committed to apolitical, intelligence-based Middle East education.
To learn more or to support our work, visit our website www.insidethemiddle-east.com.